So the Baltimore Ravens officially started their offseason workout program today, and Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are back in the building, baby. But we got a lot of concerned Ravens fans, a lot of fans on social media, up in arms about Lamar Jackson looking a little bit leaner. We're going to dive into that. We also got a hypothetical trade scenario, proposed by FanDuel about Brandon Ayuk. We got some updates at the wide receiver position and much more Baltimore Ravens news. So welcome in to another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with For the Flock. As always, bringing you guys our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Baltimore Ravens today. We're going to go rapid fire. At number 1, let's dive into the offseason program starting today. The Ravens, they got unfinished business, and I absolutely love to see the leadership, starting with Lamar Jackson in the building for those offseason workouts, setting the example, showing up, setting the tone, and, to have Derrick Henry in the building as well, and Zay Flowers and some of the other leaders that we saw from the clips that were released by the Baltimore Ravens on social media. I absolutely love it. And I got to say, every time I see Derrick Henry working out, man, I can't wait to watch him just bulldozing defenders in September in a few months. I just can't wait for it. And then you got Patrick Ricard leading the way. And I also can't wait to see how this offensive line makeover shakes out. But at number 2, let's get into what has a lot of Ravens fans concerned or excited, depending on what stance you take. Lamar Jackson visibly looks a little bit leaner than he has in recent off seasons. There has been some other off seasons recently, I think in 22 specifically. Lamar Jackson bulked up. 2023 played a little bit heavier than he did. Obviously, coming in the league as a rookie where he was super fast, and not that he still didn't have speed, but wasn't quite as explosive with the long speed, as we've seen compared to recent years. Lamar Jackson, he comes in a little bit skinnier, and I'm seeing comments like, well, this could be a good thing because, Lamar Jackson wants to make sure he can hit that edge with some speed or, take it the distance if it gets a running lane because he did get caught from behind a few times. I'll simply offer that it doesn't look like he drastically lost like 50 pounds or lost a ton of muscle or anything. And I'll also offer that it is April right now and we have until September. So about 5 months for Lamar Jackson to gain weight, lose weight, whatever he wants to do to be comfortable at his playing weight. And I'll also offer my last point on this. Lamar Jackson is going into his 7th NFL season, which is absolutely absurd. But my point is he knows going into his 7th year how he likes to feel, how much he likes to weigh, how much is too much weight, how much is not enough weight. He knows that balance, and he's still got until September to make sure he's there at that weight. Lamar Jackson knows where he wants to be for his optimal performance. But at number 3, we know Lamar Jackson is doing some work on these wide receivers. John Harbaugh confirmed that. And a lot of people have been asking me about my favorite wide receiver prospects going into this year's draft. I've seen a lot of comments in the comment section below about this year's wide receiver draft class. And I just want to offer you guys my top 10 receivers that I've been working on. And number 1, I got Malik Neighbors. 2, Marvin Harrison. 3, Rome Odunze. 4, Brian Thomas. I would not expect those top 4 to be available at pick number 30, but you never know. One guy could slip for one reason or the other. Teams have their different stances on their flavors of wide receiver. At number 5, I have Ladd McConkey, who I think has a chance to be there. Xavier Legette, I think he has a chance to be there. Xavier Worthy, I keep going back and forth on him. I've had him as high as number 4, and I've recently dropped him down to number 7. I love the speed. I would absolutely not be mad at all if the Ravens drafted him at pick number 30. Lamar Jackson has had some of his best throws on those vertical throws, like to Hollywood Brown, if you can remember, in 2019 and 2020, and even 2021. I think a vertical threat in this offense will complement the tight ends we have, Zay Flowers and Derrick Henry with the play action game. But we also got Keon Coleman at 8, Adonai Mitchell at 9, and Troy Franklin at number 10. I'm not as high on Adonai Mitchell as a lot of people are. I would still be excited if the Ravens drafted him. I still like him as a prospect. I'm just not as high on him as a prospect as a lot of other people are. At number 4, there's a wide receiver prospect coming out of next year's draft, that Deion Sanders. All right, so Coach Prime, who coaches for Colorado, says that he will allow Travis Hunter and his sons, who are coming out of the draft as well, to play for a handful of teams. Like, they are not going to play for other teams. And he says the Eagles, the Niners, the Cowboys, Commanders, Ravens, and Falcons. Now, I would like to say I feel honored as a Ravens fan that, you know, the Ravens organization made this cut, right, for teams he views as worthy to host his sons and Travis Hunter. I think he's looking at the ownership, management, coaching staff of these teams and deeming, you know, the Ravens as one of those teams that, you know, that would be a lot of fun to have Travis Hunter. I don't know if you guys know about him or familiar with his game, but basically he's one of the best cornerbacks in college football, but he's also one of the best wide receivers in college football. Deion Sanders was one of the few coaches that allowed him to play both ways, and he's basically a star on both sides of the football and an impact player playing a ton of snaps every game. It's just cool to see that Coach Prime views the Baltimore Ravens as one of those elite organizations who he finds worthy, right? So at number 5, we got a cornerback on the Baltimore Ravens who has a very unique personality. He's been a fan favorite for years here, and he's made a lot of jokes about relationships and getting married and stuff throughout the years, and here we are. Marlon Humphrey has officially gotten engaged. He posted a picture on Instagram of him proposing, so congratulations to Marlon Humphrey. Wish him nothing but the best in his marriage. I recently just had my 8-year wedding anniversary, so I really do think Marlon Humphrey is going to have a really nice year this year, and I hope he stays healthy all throughout the year, because I would love to see All-Pro Marlo back, and I think he still has it in him. But before we let you guys go today, we got to talk about this trade scenario that was proposed by FanDuel. They put out Lamar Jackson with Brandon Ayuk might break the NFL. Should the Ravens make this trade? They said, who says no? The Ravens get Brandon Ayuk, and the 49ers get this year's second-round pick, a fifth-round pick, next year's second-round pick, and Rashad Bateman. I don't think the Ravens would be willing to part way with that much draft capital if this was even a viable scenario where the Ravens are pursuing a trade for him and the 49ers would be interested in trading him. I don't know if that, I mean, that's too much capital to me. 2 second-round picks, a fifth, and Rashad Bateman. I'd be willing to part ways with like a second in Rashad, but that second-round pick is just too much for me. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments section below. We are 9 days away from the NFL draft. I'm fired up. I can't wait for it. The Ravens are back working out in the building, you know, in Owings Mills at the facility, and the Baltimore Orioles are playing right now as we speak, looking pretty good so far. Jackson Holliday with the call-up had his first base hit yesterday, so it's good. It's looking good for Baltimore sports, man. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. If you got any value out of today's content, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps out the channel. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.